musically? You know, why did you get into it, and where did it all start for you?
It started in my house. My father was a band leader in the Dominican Republic. And he wanted, there was 5 of us. And he wanted to see which one of us had talent. So he bought a harmonica, and he gave it to me. And I started playing the harmonica. And my father said, the only one that's going to be a musician is this guy. The rest of you, you're done tone deaf. He said, don't even bother. And he was right.
When I think about you, you know, you're part of the great era of Latin music. You and TITO and CELIA and Tony Vega and Pacheco. And a guy that was so helpful to you guys, I think about the old Cheetah and our Chenches was Ralph Mercado.
Ralph, he was one of the most responsible guys I know. He did so much for the music. He did it like I did with the company. Like the black had Motown.
Berry Gordy.
Yeah, the whites, the Anglo had their own music. And then I came up with the salsa, the sound. And that's what did it. That's why we sold out the Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium, right? Sell it out.
But it's, we were looking for a sound. And I know that people were hungry to do something different. But before that, I danced the pachanga, which was going to be tremendous. But like I went around, they wanted me to get some money together and do a short film and show it all over the United States. And I went looking for guys to invest. Spanish guy would not put his hand in his pocket for no one. So I said, the hell with it. And then when I was going to do it, Chubby Checker came in with a twist.
Chubby Checker, okay.
And he knocked me out of the box.
Knocked out of the box.
Out of the box. But then that didn't stop me. I kept going, and then we came with the FANIA.
FANIA All-Stars, Legendary All-Stars.
I've been very lucky. Because everything that I dreamed to have, I have accomplished. Like I wanted to start my own band. That's when I started with the Pacheco Charanga.
How old were you then? ¿Cuántos años?
20, 21, 22. I started young.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book now.
What's the name of the book? You know yet?
I have no name yet.
Mr. Pacheco, I think too, when I think about you, you can't forget the Village Gate. Every Monday, salsa meets jazz.
That was you know what it is? Things have changed so much.
See.
Like I remember in the 70s, for dancing you had, the other day I was driving in New York, and I stopped on the red light on 30th Street, and I saw the name La Maganette. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, over there it was La Maganette, the Round Table, Cork and Bottle, Corso, Wednesday, Barney Googles, Chez Jose, Casablanca. All those places went out of business because they wanted to triple the rent.
Yeah, yeah.
And they all said, forget it, we're not going to work for you. So that's one of the things that was, but New York was music all over the place.
I look back too, you know, Stevie Wonder was big for a long time. There were no Grammys for Latin music, and Stevie said, hey, we've got to honor the Latin music. Stevie Wonder stood up, and finally the Latin music was recognized, and Grammys started coming for Espanol.
Well, I have something in my house that I treasure very much. I got 10 nominations, but the American Grammy.
Oh, bueno.
And then I have the Governor's Award. That's the governors are the guys that founded the
Grammys.
The Grammy. So I was there with the guy that wrote the music for My Fair Lady and Lionel Hampton. So I was in good company.
Hey, they were in good company. I remember one night at the Village Gate, Hector Camacho was down there, and we were talking, and you told that great story about, you know, you started thinking about boxing one time, and I remember you said, you know, you fought this guy, and everything you did, this guy beat you to the punch, and you told everybody, finito, no mas. But you know, Johnny, next week we're going to get a guy your same size. Remember that story?
BS. Same guy came over, popped me in the nose, and I went down like a log.
But you know, in Latin music though, there is a relationship, a correlation between the the Latin music and the Latin fighters. You look, the Duran and Esteban de Jesus, those guys, they loved their music, and they were such an integral part of Latin music.
You know what I did? I made a mistake. We were playing the concert at the Garden. That's when Duran beat Sugar Ray.
Yeah, up in Montreal.
Yeah. He came over to the Garden, and I gave him a microphone, and we were playing. ¿Qué te parece, chulo? He started singing. You couldn't hear the guy, and all of a sudden he became a singer.
He became a singer.
He put a band together.
He did.
Yeah, he put a band together, and I said this band should disband. And he thought he had a musical career.
But no doubt he was a better fighter than he was a musician, as you was a better musician and fighter.
Yes. But at least I had style. I didn't last long.
You look back over this great career, and you've been paid homage, and you've done so much, and you brought so much of you and Tito. But there was a jazz fusion too, as Machito and Dizzy Gillespie had brought a mix there sometime.
They had great ideas, but in those days, even the pay for jazz musicians was horrendous, horrible. But like there's one guy that I always put right on top, Fat Jones. Fat Jones to me was one of the greatest musicians that ever lived. He used to write the music piece by piece, like each instrument without a score.
Really?
From his head. That's amazing. And when I recorded with him, I saw him work. The guy was a genius. But he never got the recognition he should have had.
Well, a lot of y'all didn't. You look back and you worked with them all, didn't you? Tito, Hector Lavoe, Celia, all of them, didn't you?
I dedicated my life to those guys, those people. I was knocking out singers coming up because they had the voice. The only thing they needed was the malice, the style. Even Celia was a big star, but when we got together, I gave her a different touch, and it was tremendous.
What about Tito?
Tito, I love Tito. I was writing the book, and I put a chapter that I was going to go with, I was with Cougar, and Tito asked me to play with him. So I went. That's when Willie Bobo and Mongo Santa Maria left. So I came in with Ray Barreto. And the first night I was going to play was at the Palladium. And I got the bongos, the flute, and my cowbell and everything. And he starts playing Castellano. And I'm playing, I'm going like, but I didn't know he had like a pickup. I went like this, I couldn't finish it. It went kick, 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 kick. And I went right on tempo, but it wasn't like the run. So the next day we go back at the Palladium. He says, I was waiting to talk to him. So I went over and said, Tito, he said, Castellano. He knew I wanted that number, and then I did it right. Fellas.
You got to go? Okay, sir. A pleasure. Love you, Tiamo. Thank you, Mr.
Muchas gracias.
On the ball in front of all the
Yes, no, no,